What is up, everybody? Your boy E-Man from the Average Joe Sports Talk Podcast coming at you with another live stream episode. Happy Labor Day, everybody. Long weekend. Your boys ramping up, getting ready to get back to work tomorrow. Had a very exciting weekend. Anniversary dinner with the wife on Friday. Took the kids and the fam with other friends. We went out to the beach on Sunday. Today was about just chilling and catching up. But I got to come up before I start my work week. Let me just give you what's on my mind with another live stream episode. Before we begin, please, wherever you're watching from or you're going to be listening to, please subscribe, follow, like, and comment before we go on. Check out the link in the bio for BetUS to get my 125% deposit bonus. All right. So today, as I was scrolling through TikTok and, getting my sports fix on from, Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it, a couple of things popped up, and I saw Peter King's playoff ranking predictions, right? Who he's going to predict is going to make the playoffs and the way they're ranked. And I had to jump on that dude and give you my take on it because some of this thing I'm not a fan of here. I don't know what the hell he was thinking. Peter King is a very world-renowned sports guy here. I dig him as a sports person, analyst, whatever you want to call him. Maybe not so much politically, but so this is what he said, right? This is his AFC and NFC playoff seeding prediction, right? So he has, first and foremost, the Philadelphia Eagle winning the Super Bowl. He thinks that there is no clear weaknesses on the Eagles. They got corner depth, backup quarterback, best offensive line and top 3 in the league, defensive front 7. I mean, he thinks the Eagles are the shit, and Jalen Hurts is this year's top QB over Mahomes and Joe Burrow. Anyway, without digressing, here we go. Let's go with the AFC playoff seeding predictions by Mr. Peter King. We have, starting with the Jacksonville Jaguars at number 1, the Kansas City Chiefs at number 2, the New York Jets at number 3, the Bengals at number 4, Bills at number 5, the Ravens at number 6, Pittsburgh at number 7. Yo, right here, my man just threw out the gauntlet. No respect for the Chargers. No respect for the Dolphins in this list. I mean, I know the Patriots have a long shot, but no respect for the Patriots as well. Here we go. Let me give you my take on here. Jacksonville. Yes, last year, big lead. I think this year, definitely going to be in the playoffs. I don't think they're going to be ranked number 1. That's my first big one that I don't agree with them. I think Jacksonville can be in the top 4. Absolutely. I mean, we don't know yet if Joe Burrow is going to miss how many games. We don't know how many games Joe Burrow is going to miss, but last time I checked, it was in practice. So Cincinnati at number 4, I guess he's putting a lot of stock on how many games Joe Burrow is going to miss. I say Cincinnati probably 3, maybe 2. I'll leave Cincinnati at 4, just based on the injuries and the unknown factor of how many games Joey Money is going to miss. So I'm agree with that. Let me take that back. Buffalo at number 6, I have a problem with that. Buffalo is a much better team than the New York Jets. I don't care how many stars the Jets have. Jets are number 3. That's reaching. That's reaching a lot. Baltimore, I'm okay with at number 6. I think the Jets should not be number 3. It should be Buffalo number 3. Put the Jets at 6. That's my biggest take right there. Kansas City should be number 1. I don't care. They proved this last year, and they're going to prove it again. I think Jacksonville should be number 3 or 4. Put Jacksonville at 4. And let's put Cincinnati at 3. So the way I would have it would be Kansas City, Cincinnati at 3, Jacksonville at 4. I move Buffalo to 2. Baltimore and Pittsburgh. I like Baltimore making the playoffs. I think at 6 is fine. Um, Pittsburgh sneaking in. That's a tough reach. No respect to my boy Jim, who, by the way, watch the Cigars and Sports show. We threw up an episode a week ago. We're gonna go with episode 2 this Friday. Jim, I love you, man, but I don't know, man. Pittsburgh over this over I mean, it's a toss up. Pittsburgh, the Chargers, and Miami is a toss up. So I probably slide Miami just if Tua stays healthy. I think Pittsburgh will be the odd team looking in, but that's your boy keeping it real. Again, there's a complete disrespect to Kansas City in this list. Jacksonville being number 1. My boy Garrett from Steel and Talk, and forget the other podcast he's in. I know he's a big J Bill fan, but man, number 1 is a reach. It's a reach. I mean, I give him top. I give him 5. I give him 1 through 4. But Kansas City should be number 1. Buffalo should be number 2 or 3, and Cincinnati again. Cincinnati, we'll leave them at 4 because of the missing. So the Jets should not be 3. Buffalo should be 3. All right, or should be actually 2. Jacksonville, I'll give them 3. So that will be my list. Let me say it again: Kansas City, the Buffalo Bills. I'll give Jacksonville, Cincinnati. All right, at number 5, the Jets, Baltimore, and let's throw Pittsburgh in there, / Miami, and the Chargers. Any of those 3 teams can go in there, can sneak in there with Pittsburgh. So just putting Pittsburgh clearly in there, as good as I think they're going to be this year, it's a little bit of a stretch as well. But come on, man. Jacksonville. Look, I love Goldilocks, man. All right, Trevor Lawrence. I got him in my fantasy league and a few leagues. I think he's going to have another great year, especially with Calvin Ridley. Huge asset, huge addition. However, they're not number 1 in the AFC when you got to fucking kiss the ass of the Kansas City Chiefs, who are the big balls in this league. That's my take. Moving on to the NFC. Right? Ready? This is what he has right now: San Francisco, Philadelphia, and by the way, he took Philadelphia to win. All right. Detroit, number 3. Atlanta at number 4. Dallas at number 5. Seattle at 6. Green Bay at number 7. This is bullshit. Green Bay is not going to make the playoffs. Shout out to my boys at Patriots Sports Radio. All right, Chris and Eric. But I'm sorry, man. You may have a lot of love for that team, but love ain't going to be enough to take it to the damn playoffs. Get Kansas City out of the get Green Bay out of the damn list. Sorry about that. It is what it is. Keep it a gangster. Keep it a G. Keep it a real. Keep it a 100. All right, exactly. Keep it a 100. Now, San Francisco. I like the I know he's smelling. I know Peter King is smelling what the Brock was cooking last year. One more year, bigger sample size. I don't know if Brock's going to be as good, but that team, it is built to win. I don't see them as the number 1 team. All right, even though I think they have such a great freaking team. Absolutely, though. They're stacked. They're ready to win now. Philadelphia, number 2. I'm okay with that. Actually, look, as much as I hate Philly and the Dallas Cowgirls, I'm going to put Philly at number 1. To me, they're the best NFC team. They are. One thing I could agree with him, Jalen Hurts is going to have an MVP season. They are loaded. They reloaded again. Year 2 with A.J. Brown. Devontae Smith is that damn good. Good running game, regardless of possible injury to Swift and Rashad Penny, but Gainwell is nasty. Great defense, drafted well. I'm going to put them at number 1. I'm going to slide down San Francisco to number 2 for sure. But it could be either way. So those 2, I could agree with them. But Philly, number 1, San Francisco, number 2. Detroit. A lot of stock on Detroit, man, after finishing hot last year. But I'll slide Detroit in there at number 3. That's cool. Atlanta doesn't make the playoffs. I'm sorry. Atlanta does not make the playoffs. I'll slide Dallas in number 4. I'll throw Dallas in there at number 4. And Atlanta probably will make the playoffs, but because they got to win the damn division. That's the part that sucks about Atlanta being in there. I think they keep forgetting about the Bucks, but I think the Bucks, even with Baker Mayfield, they have a better team than Atlanta. So slide the Bucks at number 4. You heard me. Unless they trade Mike Evans, which we're gonna hit that a little later. We'll put Dallas there, number 5. Seattle on number 6. Seattle's probably gonna win that division. However, at number 7, put some respect on my New York Giants name, please. All right. We are much better than we were last year with the addition of some receivers. Waller, of course, if he's healthy. Yo, don't sleep on Daniel Jones, man. I know he got the cash, but don't sleep on Daniel Jones, who I'm going to hit a little while on more on him because I got another banger. Put some respect on his name. Some respect on his name. All right. I love it. Hey, shout out to Charles Harris. I'm sorry. I always say car girls. I always use car bitches. One of the two. Shout out to my man, Darian. Appreciate you hopping on, brother. Appreciate you, man. We got to collab soon. But for sure, gotta give some shout outs here to the comments. But going back to this, my Giants gonna slide in at number 7 again. Or don't be surprised if we slide in at 5. Much better team. Much better team. We did a better job with the NFC. However, Detroit at number 3. I don't know about that. But again, Atlanta, I think the Bucks are going to slide in. That division is going to be garbage again. And I guess, I know Atlanta, everybody's hyped up with, Bijan Robinson. I think the boy's nasty, though. I love him. He's like Saquon 2.0. But Ritter is not the man. I think Baker, with the wide receivers that he has, the running game, that defense is better than Atlanta's. I think the Bucks are going to win that division if they don't trade Evans before the season starts or during the season. Dallas at number 5. Yeah, I'll put that under. Seattle, I agree. I think Seattle is much better. They drafted well. But the Giants are pulling it at number 7. Bye-bye, Green Bay. Bye-bye, Green Bay. It is what it is. It is what it is. And again, it's a complete disrespect when you go back to this rankings. Let's go back to the East again before I move on to my next topic. I'm not going to beat a dead horse here. But let's go back to the AFC East. Yeah, Jacksonville at number 1, which I disagreed. Kansas City at number 2. The Jets at number 3. Cincinnati at 4. Buffalo at 5. 6 for Baltimore. 7 for Pittsburgh. Again, Buffalo's being disrespected here. So is Kansas City. Over really hyping these Jets. I'm telling you, man, they're a freaking little gift boxes of prices, man. They're not going to be that good. I think they make the playoffs. I see more of them making the 6th or the 7th seed than the number 3 seed. All right. So Cincinnati, again, if Burrow starts the season, Joe Burrow starts the season, guess what? Cincinnati's going to finish third. All right. Or 2. I think Jayville is not going to finish any better than 3. Jacksonville. And that's an improvement from last year. So I don't know. Yeah, all of a sudden, they got one of the greatest comebacks ever in the playoffs. And all of a sudden we're giving number 1. Dude, I know they have a good team, but come on, man. Stop bullwashing, Peter King. Anyway, it is what it is. It is what it is. This is where we're at right now. Peter is losing it. I think he's smoking that good shit. He is smoking that good stuff. Absolutely, Jim. I think our boy's hitting the crack pipe. Peter King did that ranking. That's why I had to come on and give him my take. Definitely hitting that crack pipe. Had the Jets really, really high. So I'm with you 100%, brother. With you 100%. All right, moving on to the next one here. So earlier today, let me look at my outline here. This is a cold improv too. I decided to just come on and just go ham here. But there was a rumor. Well, there's not a rumor. First of all, it's not a rumor. It's a rumor that I heard because I saw it on of course on X. You go down the rabbit hole in X or Twitter, whatever the hell you want to call it nowadays. But this happened earlier today. So Giants quarterback Danny Dimes converted his $8.2 million base salary into a signing bonus, creating $6.35 million in cap space. That's a pretty good shot right there. Is Mike Evans coming to the Giants? I hope so. I know it's a long shot. Remember Mike Evans earlier this week, I think it was Friday, September 1st, he said that he's done negotiating for an extension. It's all about football this season, but he doesn't see himself not signing, doesn't see himself signing at all with the Buccaneers next season. So tells you that I'm going to hit free agent. I'm going to take my cash and I'm out. Listen, nothing wrong with that. But the fact that the Giants did a little bit of cap space creation here. I absolutely see this as a possibility.
Damn!
All right, we got $6 million. We could offer him $6 more million than what he's making now. Long-term contract. Look, this is like right up our alley, man. Pick this guy up, man. Trade him. We got assets, baby. We got picks. We got goods, baby. We got goods in exchange for this bad boy right here. That would be a dream come true. If we get Mike Evans, that Peter King, freaking seed prediction for the NFC can wipe his ass with him because we're probably going to be number 5. All right, instead of just barely making the playoffs. But that'll be something, right? Mike Evans, big guy, has like 1,000 receiving yards every season he's played. I know he's lost a step or two, a little bit of injuries has hindered him. But, man, giving Danny Dimes this in addition to Waller, high risk, high reward situation for Mike and the Giants alongside with everything else that we have. Brian Dable, the GOAT, doing his thing. All right, getting busy. That's exactly what it is. So, look, I'm hoping this is a sign that the Giants are, if it's not Mike Evans, are going after somebody that's going to help us immediately this year. I mean, clearing up cap space is for the now, not for the future, because that means the Giants may be looking at, if it's not Mike Evans, it's somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Somebody else that they're trying to look at that to want to bring in to help for this season, which, by the way, starts in 3 freaking days, baby. All right, Thursday, baby. Thursday, we snap it up, baby. We go ahead and blast off with the NFL season. But I am so hype about this. I hope this is a reality. Mike Evans in the building with this right here. Come on, man. This would be awesome. This would be really, really good. But again, when a team clears cap space, especially in the opportunity that they have with restructuring Daniel Jones' contract, who they just gave him a ton of money, definitely is a sign of working something for the now. All right? Working something for the now. Yeah, absolutely. Mike Evans anywhere improves a wide receiver room and helps them win right now. You're right. Any team this guy goes, it's going to help anybody right now. This guy's one of the best wide receivers. He does it quietly, man. Even with a bad year last year, this guy just cracks 1,000-yard receivings every year after year, sneezing. You know what I'm saying? Without sneezing about it. He's really good. Love Mike Evans. This guy. I mean, I know even though it's not Mike Evans, this is wishful thinking by BetUS, Pro Football. Obviously, I think it does create the notion that the Giants want to do something now. So they're clearing up cap space because we're probably going to bring something on right now. All right. Before I move on to the next topic, let me go ahead and share a word from my sponsors at BetUS, where the game begins.
I've been to 56 straight home games.
I've tailgated 61 times.
I've been to 31 practices. I've collected 17 autographs.
I've had 27 beers spilt on me. Make that 28.
I've got one sports book.
I've got one sports book. I've got one sports book.
BetUS.com.
Sign up at BetUS and get a massive 125% bonus.
All right. What is the deal with the Arizona Cardinals? And I'm not going to spend too much time on this, but what is the deal with the Arizona Cardinals quarterback situation? They got rid of Colt McCoy, who the only one that probably knows the offense better because he played some last year. All right. And we know that Kyler Murray is not going to start the season. And he actually was named one of 6 captains, by the way. So right now, it leaves him with Joshua Dobbs and Clayton Tune. Might as well throw me out there and put me in your depth chart. Put me in, coach. I could probably do the same job at 45 and a recovering blown ACL. Absolutely not. But what is up? Clayton Tune, it's a rookie, right? Joshua Dobbs, it's not saying much. That and paint. So they're starting the season without having picked a number one guy yet. Excuse me, to replace Kyler, who's going to be out for so many games. We don't even know. And today, usually they announce which quarterback is going to do the press, who's going to hit the press conference every Wednesday. Every Wednesday they assign players that are going to talk to the press and blah, 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 blah. And they haven't actually mentioned anybody in the quarterback position yet who's gonna go ahead and go up there and talk to the press. So let's hit the comments real quick. Yep, Cardinals are a mess. Mary 92 mil. They're looking for a loop, but they resign Brucey. Yeah, that's from the longest yards. Shout out to my boy Jim, man. That's funny as shit. Yeah, I know, man. I know. I don't know if it's I don't know who's going to play a quarterback. At this point, you probably go with Joshua Dobbs, but there's such a mess at quarterback, man. I mean, look, I hope nobody drafted anybody from the Cardinals. All right? I don't care if it was a wide receiver, a running back, nothing. Probably the best bet was James Conner, because that's going to be the only offensive weapon. He's going to get all the damn touches. That's the only Cardinal. If I were you, I would have drafted. I didn't draft a single Cardinal because I didn't get a chance to. A single Cardinal in any of my fantasy drafts, and I am playing in 6 leagues, right? 5 of them are paid. 4 of them are paid, actually, are paid leagues. But it's such a freaking mess right now that we have no idea. It's like, who's on second when it comes to the Cardinals quarterback situation here? All right, it's like, who's on fucking second? It's the biggest shit show I've ever seen when it comes to a team starting a season not having nailed down the most important position in football, which is the freaking quarterback. Absolutely garbage, dumpster fire. It's a freaking dumpster fire. Absolutely when it comes to the Cardinals, not just a quarterback, but I think this franchise is such on the decline. And they're going to tank for Caleb Williams. And I don't know if they're going to be able to pull off the trade, and they're going to trade Kyler Murray. And not only they're going to trade Kyler Murray, but a lot of that salary in order to trade Kyler Murray is going to end up being the responsibility of the Cardinals moving forward next year. That's exactly what's going to happen. Hey, Jim, absolutely, brother. Cardinals are the Browns of the West Coast. Man, you can't hit it anymore like on the center, or you can't hit that nail any better on the head than the Cardinals are the Browns of the West Coast. You're absolutely right, because think about it. The Browns guaranteed money to a felon. I'm sorry, not a felon. That's not insult the guy. But a dude that loves take advantage of women with 23 freaking cases. However, they're going to end up trading Kyler Murray, like I mentioned earlier, and probably paying a lot of that money while he plays for another team, because that's the only way they got to get rid of him. Bad contract, damaged goods, and they're starting 2023 without a quarterback yet. Yes, it's going to be one of the two. All right, Dobbs or Clayton Tune. I like Clayton Tune because of his name. That's all. Joshua Dobbs, I mean, what the hell has he done? But let me tell you something. It's going to be a tough year for starting running back James Conner. That boy's got to blow up his knee. Marquise Brown, Rondell Moore, Zach Ertz, who's probably going to retire after this year. That offense, it's going to be a freaking dumpster fire, and is going to be a complete shit show to watch. I hope they don't televise any of those games, because it's really going to suck. It is really going to suck. That's got to get my piece on the Cardinals dumpster fire of a team in the position. This is freaking the whole team. It's not just the quarterback. They I don't know what they went from, like one of the most promising teams to, my gosh, please sell them and move them, because you got to stick a fork in them. You definitely got to stick a fork in them. Now, let's hit what's trending in sports today or this week. All right. So, in case you missed it, this is what's trending in sports this week. Some of them are takes right now that I saw today. It's pretty much what I feel like it's trending in my book. And moving on. First and foremost, hey, What about this weekend? Fire. TCU upsets. I'm sorry, Colorado, University of Colorado upsets TCU. All right. It was a great. I watched this game. First and foremost, I'm a big Deion Sanders fan as a player. First and foremost, the fact that he played for Dallas, don't care. But be me a baseball guy first. I grew up playing baseball, then basketball, and then I love watching football. Wasn't didn't have any skills to play football. 5'8", 155 pounds back then. Come on, man. I wasn't that athletic. I could shoot. That's why I play ball and pretty decent feet. That's why I play second. Not a great arm. Anyway, but I love Deion back in the '90s, man, because what he was able to do on the football field, and then just boom, take a plane during the playoffs, fly over to Toronto, and play a baseball game, and still go like 4 for 4, and have a great series as well. That year with Atlanta when they lost to Toronto. Fan of the athleticism. To me, I mean, he was just that Bo Jackson kind of player. And then, of course, in the football field, man, he was like lockdown. I mean, he was one of those backs that nobody did not. You couldn't throw to Deion, man. Deion was guarding you. Deion was covering you. You couldn't throw to Deion. It was complete lockdown. To me, one of the greatest. Great punt returner. All right, this is what was so great about Deion. He was a different kind of guy. Put him in as wide receiver as well, and he would do magic. So punt returning, playing corner. All right, out in the outfield, man. Remember, this guy was such athletic. It was center field. He was drafted by the Yankees, right? I mean, great career. One of the best athletes to me ever to play from a standpoint of athleticism in any major sports, right? Great baseball player, really good, even greater football player, and a really decent baseball player. Great glove, can hit. I mean, I don't have the stats in front of me, but anyway, as a coach, we know what he did with Jackson State with at the HBCU. He brings his whole squad, pretty much, both of his kids, Shador and Shiloh, over to Colorado State. Brings a bunch of kids. He's giving them FAU money. He's getting them FAU cash. Amen. Don't hate the player, hate the game. The game is there for a reason. The absolute, money thing with the whole image and likeness. Money is there for a reason now. Don't hate it. He has one of the most influential client lists in the world that love to endorse Deion, and he brings that along, and he's going to give that to his players. That's going to be his selling point. Because listen, Colorado won one game last year. Nobody wants to go to Colorado for college, right? All these kids are like, what the hell do I want to go to Colorado for? It's cold as shit. Ain't nothing to do there. But maybe we could smoke weed because it's legal. However, but look, it really nothing to do there, man. All right, I don't ski. You think anybody from like the West Coast in LA or like up in Texas in the middle of nowhere is want to go to Colorado to freaking ski, bro? Nobody's gonna do that shit. All right, that's not their deal. But the fact that he's brought these players and a lot of them were from Jackson States. I mean, what he did this week was pretty cool, man. Pretty cool. He called it. He is one of those guys that is not shy in order to run his mouth because he could back it up. But look, his son, Shador Sanders, again, put the world on notice. 38 for 47, no interceptions, 510 yards, 4 passing touchdowns. I mean, he was making some plays and throwing some dimes, man. That he showed the world that I'm just not an HBCU kind of guy. Bring me on. Bring me to the big time. I am going to slay. All right. You have Dylan Edwards had a great game. He rushed for a touchdown, but also caught a nice dime, had 5 receptions. This kid is a playmaker, 135 yards. All right. Travis Hunter, man, the story of the game, a pick, 3 batted balls, an interception. This is while playing cornerback. All right. This is while playing corner. And then has himself 11 receptions, 119 yards. This kid did something that we haven't seen in ages. He played both ways the entire game. That was pretty crazy. Going to the actual, when you look at the stats, right, they were pretty even in total yards. Passing yards, Colorado blew them out the water. Rushing yards, again, TCU had the really good running plays. Yards per play were pretty even. Colorado had more first downs. The third down efficiency was pretty close. Fourth down, they went 2 for 2. They ran a lot of plays. They did this in like 100-degree weather. In like 100-degree weather, man. It was beautiful to watch. It was beautiful to watch, man. It was beautiful to watch. This game was just one of those things. And I'm sorry, did I say, let me see here. Let me make sure I got that right. Yeah, Travis Hunter, my bad. He I get him confused with Jimmy Horn. But yeah, look, he has his son Shiloh, who's played defense, led the league in tackles. All right, Shadur Sanders had a great game. And what about Deion? Yeah, he talks shit, but he backed it up. He said, "We were coming for you, and I keep receipts." Quote Deion. He thanked God multiple times. Both of his kids said this. He said that nobody believed in us, but God did. Like the fact that he's even though people don't like him, they run their own way, but he's a good Christian dude who's not afraid of, who is not afraid at all in speaking about his faith. He puts a lot of his lifestyle in God's hands, and his kids the same thing. Nobody believed in us, but God did. So I give him credit. He's a good Christian man. Doesn't give a shit. He's always spoke his mind. He's doing it again. And I'm gonna tell you right now, Deion Sanders is good for football. It's good for the NCAA football. Looking at this team's schedule, I think this team has 7 games in them after the way they played against TCU week 1. If Shadur Sanders plays like this on a regular, holy smokes, watch out. Shit's going to get real. Ball bound after playing 1 year, and then Deion's got to get a major. He's got to leave the city. Leave the university for another one. Let's hit the comments again. I got my boy Jim over here. He's getting ready for the draft tonight. He has number 1 pick. Let's go, baby. Justin Jefferson. That's all you got to do, Jim. Justin Jefferson, if you got number 1 pick. Justin Jefferson, baby. Go ham. So, again, love Deion. Great. Congratulations. The man killed it. Moving on to what else is trending in sport. Earlier today, man. So CANELO tried to throw a jab at our boy Jordan Crawford, man. My boy Crawford is nasty here, bro, after he destroyed Earl Spence, I mean. So CANELO goes, I respect Crawford. He's a very talented fighter, but he just won 1 big fight. If you see his record, he's just beaten 1 good fighter. CANELO, then put your money where your mouth is. Either go down in weight and face my man, because right now he's the best pound-for-pound fighter. Now, Terrence Crawford doesn't shy down, brother. Does not shy down from shiznit. He clapped right back at CANELO. Here we go with I haven't fought nobody but Earl Spence. Talk. Laugh out loud. Y'all so delusional is crazy. CANELO is throwing the hammer down, right? And CANELO has lost some speed here in the last couple of years. At one point he was the pound for pound fighter. Canelo's a warrior, of course. I'm not gonna mess with CANELO because he's always fought everybody. But at this point, he's actually not the best anymore. He's not the best pound for pound anymore. It's Earl. To me, it's Terrence Crawford. So CANELO wants to shut Crawford up and prove that theory that hasn't fought anybody great, just Earl Spence. CANELO needs to put his money where his mouth is and move down to Crawford, wait, and challenge the king. All right? It is what it is. Let's get real about it, man. Let's get real about it. Last topic and trending in sports, in case you missed it, but even though it's from today, 30 years ago, September 4th, 1993, one arm, all right, Jim Abbott of the New York Yankees throws an improbable no-hitter. Pretty cool. Jim Abbott, if you know, he played, I think, like 10 years in the majors, right? He played with the Angels. He did not have a full arm, and he was a guy that, just put the glove and flip it. And the guy, won Rookie of the Year. He had a really good career with that handicap. And even though his run with the Yankees wasn't great record-wise, but my man threw a no-hitter today. It is a great, great feat for somebody that probably should not have been able to even play baseball past Little League, right? But that tells you everything, man. If it doesn't matter where you're from, what kind of disability you have. Sometimes, man, that disability, even though it can hinder you, can also be your biggest contributor and get you to do things that nobody has ever thought you could. And Jim Abbott today proved the unthinkable. His baseball career was completely unthinkable, and it was probably never supposed to happen, but he did something, shocked the world with a disability of not having an arm. He couldn't carry he had a glove in his nub here, and he had it over, and he was able to pitch, flip the glove real quick, catch the ball, And one thing about Jim Abbott, apart from throwing a no-hitter today, all right, with all the challenges, this guy also won the Gold Glove like 3 or 4 times as a pitcher. All right, with one freaking arm, bro. With one hand. I mean, the guy had one hand. Shout out to Jim Abbott. Congratulations. We remember you, bro, as one of the greatest. And remember, he's a sign of another individual who doesn't let anything get in his way of his dream. Disability or not, this guy made dreams come true. He made his dream come true, and I think was a very, very hopeful individual and a great role model for kids. Woo! All right, man. I decided to jump on today, do a little impromptu. I want to thank everybody for watching. Everybody who's going to be listening to this, available on every platforms. Once again, thank you for watching. Please comment, follow, subscribe, listen, whatever you need to do. Rate me, please. It'll help us out a lot in the channel. Like I said, I'm live once a week on Rumble, Twitter, and YouTube, and then you're able to get the same podcast as live in audio form at Spotify, Apple, all the other ones. I go ahead and I release it right away. This Friday at 9 o'clock. Don't miss my boy and I's Jim's Cigars and Sports show. This is a collaboration, man, that we just started. We had a really good reaction to and a good response from people on our first episode a couple of weeks ago. Friday will be week 2. We want to try to get this as often as possible, but we got another load, jam, action-packed Cigars and Sports. For all your cigar lovers, sports and cigars go hand in hand. Don't miss it this Friday at 9 p.m. I want to thank everybody for watching and listening. This is your boy E-Man from the Average Joe Sports Talk Podcast, signing out. Peace.
Yo!